if we wandered over into Wadham Library and asked such a person, why are you reading that article? Because I need to. Why? Because it's important to my current essay. Why? Because I'll have to cite it to get the good mark I need. Why? Because I want to get a good degree. Why? Because I want a good job. Why? Because I want to have good social standing, and I also want to be well paid. Why? Because I want to buy a house and a car. Why? Because I want to attract and support a future partner, all right? Why? Because I probably want to have a family down the line. Why? Because... Now, I apologise to all students here who will doubtless have very different and much more enlightened answers to these questions. But you see how it's possible with this line of thinking to move rapidly from the niche act of reading an abstruse article on 17th century law right down to the fundamental question of why you want your life to be spent with a family of your own creation. This is where instrumental thinking always takes you, and it can look crude or indeed absurd when exposed to daylight. Yet there's an important fork in the road in these questions. The alternative turn can be made at the very first question, about why we undertake any intellectual activity. It is that we do so because it is interesting and because we enjoy it. As I approach 40, this has become my overriding response to the humanities. The unavoidable phenomenon of engaging with the history of human civilizations and the product of the human mind is that such an experience is intellectually enriching, rewarding, and addictive. Now, of course, that privileged stance of enjoyment for its own sake is not going to cut it. It can't survive alone. There are myriad adjunct benefits to studying the humanities, primarily understanding the character and evolution of the cultures that surround us. All the hundreds of transferable skills one could list are real, but they are not the primary goal. Yes, the humanities cultivate critical and creative activity. Yes, literacy expands language and indeed thought. Yes, a robust humanities degree should make you a desirable employee. Yet, as recent decades of institutional campaigning have shown, it just doesn't work to make a skills-based or goal-driven vocational case for the humanities, about how they'll train you up to be the best in the workforce.